Happy Easter to everyone. Welcome to the Froggy Friday Mischief. I'm the Crafty Rat. So this is part of the Froggy Friday collaboration, which was started by Karen of the Dragon's Den and Lisa of the Girl in the Garage. Link to the playlist is below in the description. Please go and check them all out. They are absolutely amazing. They are so fun and creative. They're worth checking out. Right, so this Friday, Good Friday for everyone. I've got my main Froggy project, but as it's Easter, I'm kind of doing this one as well, just because. So what I'm doing with these, it's pretty straightforward, really. I've already done similar stuff before. Filling up some clear, just because I love the magnification it gives on anything that you put in there. So filling it with clear, and then I'm doing something a little bit different for me. Now, I have done this before. It must have been when I first started doing resin. I tended to put anything and everything into resin. So I figured I'd have a little bit of fun this week. Now, what I'm going to be doing, although somewhat similar for both, they are going to be slightly different. Now, the frog, as I say, I'm putting the clear level, but then if you're in the UK, you'll know exactly what I'm about to show you. I'm going to be putting a layer, I'm sorry about the backwards, I need to figure that out. Mini eggs. These are definitely for resin. I will not be eating them, I promise. Promise, really, won't be. So I'm doing that for the frog. Now, got this mould yesterday from, surprisingly, Temu. And I was so happy. I've got some little mini eggs that instead of filling up a layer first and then putting them on top, I'm quite literally going to mix these in with the resin and see what it looks like. So there we go. I shall be back momentarily once I've mixed the resin and I'll get straight into it. Have fun, guys. Okay, so I've got my resin, and what I'm going to be doing first is filling up the little mould. Now, I probably should have done this beforehand, but I didn't think. So all I'm doing is filling it with the little mini eggs. Because I'm completely filling it, it don't really matter, and I don't want to use too much resin, have too much at the top. So I don't know why I'm trying to be specific with it. But just getting my little pot out and pouring them in and trying not to get them everywhere. So whilst I was mixing up the resin, I was figuring, I don't want it to be just plain clear resin. So I've got some, I think it's Diamond Sparkle from Marabou. I did have one of the others, I think Rainbow, but I cannot find it for the life of me. And oh boy, this one was a pain. It's got one of the little ball bearings, so every time I tried squeezing some in, the ball bearing kept getting stuck. So I kept shaking it, and it were any time now that I actually noticed the ball bearing, you could physically see it. So this bit took a while. So all you're going to be seeing for the next part, which I will speed up. Oh, that's my husband, Mr. Rat, trying to sort it out for me. So I'll speed up the next part. I'm just pouring in to the legs, mixing in the mini eggs with it, and then pouring it into the rabbit. Right, so I'll be back momentarily. Right, so at this point, I'm just squirting some alcohol into the rabbit, and what I'm doing is I'm pouring a little bit of just the clear resin, so I don't get the bubbles in the ears that they're filled with resin, because knowing my luck, I'd fill it with the mini eggs and it would be blocked. So that's all I'm doing here. So now I'm just going to be mixing it in with the eggs and pouring it. So I'll be back once this part's done. So, this is my attempt at multitasking. I was actually working on this Froggy Friday video and tomorrow's video at the same time. Now, Saturday's video, I'd already poured some into a leaf. Yeah, you'll see. Hard to explain, but my husband had an idea, and he burnished a load of gilding flakes onto one of my big leaf moulds that I have, some that got left over last year from my mum. So I'd literally must have been about half an hour before this, I'd poured the first part, not being able to fill it, and that's where we come in. So I knew I wanted to fill that in, so when I made up the resin, I did make up what I was hoping was enough for this pour and the leaf. But as you see, I kind of made a little bit extra. Only a small amount extra, but yeah. So all I'm doing at this point is mixing the black in. Now, because I was multitasking and working on multiple projects, Mr. App has some little wooden boards, so I figured I'd put my projects on them and then I could easily move the boards out of the way. Now, I didn't want to cut this mat, so as you can see, I'm just messing around, just trying to move it, but there is an actual wooden board there. So I'm passing that over and it's going to be replaced with my half-filled leaf. So for the rest of this, I'm just going to be mixing up the black, filling up this mould and filling one or two of the others. So I shall be back in a few.
Crafty little rat, she's stirring resin tonight. Pink and green swirls in the dying porch light. Her hands are nimble with a shimmer and a gleam. She's spinning out her magic like a backwoods dream. Pour it, twist it, watch it take hold. A playful creation worth more than gold. In a little workshop just beyond the track, that crafty little rat ain't ever looking back. Her overalls are spattered, her hair's tied tight, but look, those mischievous eyes hold the light in the fight. With a chuckle and a hum, she works her play, turning simple little scraps into color ballet.
Right, so I've used up all my resin and I've not filled my little tortoise. So all I'm going to do is put stones in. Put in a lot of stones just to fill it up. So I'll fast forward the rest of this and then I'll be back with the next section. Right, so this layer has cured. Now,
what you can see me attempting to show is a couple of the eggs were just protruding. Yeah, I think you can see there, just protruding from the surface. So that made me think I might need to just put a little extra layer on that one. Right. However, with the frog, all I'm doing is putting a really thin layer on, and then what I'm going to be doing is just placing the eggs. Now, I don't want to fill the frog, so I don't completely pack it, and once I've done, I'll just pour a little bit extra on the top because I want a lot of the background to show through, which you'll see on the demoulding. So what I'm going to do is just fast forward this section until these have been poured. So with this, I had actually only made up 40 mils of resin. I probably should have used a smaller cup and made up a lot less. So I've got some moulds. These are some new ones that I wanted to try out. So all I'm doing with this part is mixing in a little bit of colour. Now the colour I pick, I'm kind of fallen in love with. It's a blue. Yeah, it's a blue. I don't do different variations of blue. Blue's blue, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, all I'm going to do for this is mix in the colour and then just pour it into these parts. So I shall just fast forward through this part now. So now I'm back for the final layer. Now you will notice that the resin is extremely bubbly. Now, as nice as it is out, as the weather is outside, my craft room is like a freezer. Normally, I do warm my resin up first. I use Mr. Ratty's 3D printer bed to warm it. It works really well. However, I forgot. There's no other words for it. I forgot. So it was cold. It was bubbly. I tried waiting for it to degas, but it wasn't working. So anyway, I crack on with it. Now, I did figure, as I was mixing in some mica powder and colour, and it wouldn't matter too much. So we'll just have to see. So all I'm doing is splitting it. I've already poured some into one of my little cups, which I'm going to be using the same blue I used earlier to tint it. And this larger amount, I am just putting in... What am I putting in? I'm putting in mica powder. I had a complete memory blank then. So for the rest of this section, that's all I'm going to be doing. Now, I do have a little bit of leftover. I could not think for the life of me what to pour it into, so I've just started doing up my little pot again. So for the rest of this, I believe it's going to be sped up. So I should be back once this is done for the demoulding. So I hope you enjoy, guys.
So everything's ready to demould now. Just a note that I think finally Mr. Rat has finally figured out what it's like to be a resin artist. He has been super impatient about getting this demoulded. Super impatient, so I'm going to leave that.
You made me wait for 2 days already.
So as you can see, there's lots of spare that we have. Now I'm not entirely sure that this will come out in one piece, because as I've mentioned previously, my craft room, it's freezing and it's still a bit bendy and with the little antennas, so we'll see what that looks like. So I'm going to get the spares done first. There's a lot of cleanup needed on this, but that's not a problem. Now, even though this has been done for over 24, well over 24, close to 48, it is still a bit bendy, so I will be leaving it. Oh, that's really sweet. Can't get it. Just trying to get it to focus. That's starting to annoy me. So, yep, that's my little lizard. Now, you'll have seen me, there was very little resin in here. I just shoved little mini rocks, so I'm not entirely sure. But like the feather in my last video, this was the chameleon was put on at the same time as that, and I just figured I wanted to use the mould for something else. I wanted to get it filled, so I just filled it up with rocks. So you can see the rocks through, but I quite like that. Makes it a bit different. It's got a little rock in its head. Can you see that? Yeah, you can just about see it there. It's got a little rock in its head. But he's cute. Alright, so these were the holographic diamonds. Again, just running around trying to find moulds. So there's a little bit of cleanup. Yeah, a little bit of cleanup there, but that's nothing. And yeah, you can see that on there. So that one's a plain one. These are pretty cute. I love these little holographic things. No idea what I'm going to do with them, but I love them. And just enough to send your eyes all weird. I think that's my favourite one. Right. So with this one, because this was poured last night, yeah, it's still marking, so I might actually leave these. Because I'm gonna, yeah. So yeah, I will leave these. So I'll probably demold these during the week and tag them on to one of my next videos. But yeah, I don't want to risk warping them too much. So I'll just put them to the side. Now, with the frog, yes, I poured this at the same time, and I was a little bit of an idiot. This morning, when I went to check on it, it's still a little bendy, but I did put it on my heat mat. For some reason, I forgot to put these ones on. So, yeah, what can I say? Right, now to take him out of his misery, let's get this. As I'll have mentioned in the voiceover, I was desperately trying to find stuff, and my husband is really creative, was like, ooh, I want to try this. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll do that then. So he's been super impatient. I've made him wait. So I'm surprised he's still talking to me. Right, are we ready? Are we ready? I absolutely love that. Do you like it?
Yep. Mine.
Right, so now on to the two main ones. So this one, as you can see, I use the mini eggs, and it does look to have bleached the colour, so I'm not expecting much from this. I figured I'd just see what it was like. Now, lost focus there. Oh, that is really cute. So that's a little. I quite like that mould.
It's Easter Bunny.
It's the Easter Bunny. Right. So, because of the fading on the mini eggs, I am very nervous about this. And I need to be careful so it don't lose its feet, or we'll have another footless. That's come out. All the back feet have. Now let's try and get the front feet out. Yeah, you can see there it's still pretty bendy. So that's that foot out. Right, that's the feet out. Oh, I'm super nervous now. Let's have a look.
That's cool.
Oh, wow. I absolutely love that. See there? Oh, I'm glad I didn't cover the eggs completely. The uneven layer of clear that I put on to secure the eggs, the back layer then has come through, and the eggs don't look to have faded. So, Happy Easter, everyone! Let me know what you think. Bye!
She's the crafty rat with the twinkle in her eye, weaving webs of wonder, making the world go by. On Froggy Friday, she's skipping stones in the rain. Her laughter's like a riddle, it's driving me insane.